Hello, welcome to the Candid Musings podcast, where I have interesting conversations with amazing guests on various life topics. I believe in the power of conversations to inspire, transform, and enlighten us. And if you are looking for open and honest discussions from unique individuals about their journey, then this is the right podcast for you. Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Musings podcast. And today I have a very special friend, very special, naughty, but interesting person. His name is Akitobi, and he's been a friend of mine. I don't know. I'm trying to think about when we actually became friends. I'll say in like a year.
On Instagram. Yeah. You're attacking me.
Was I attacking you?
Yeah, on my views. I posted something one day.
I remember. It's about the subject we're about to talk about? Yeah. Yes. So he has very strong opinions about some subjects which I usually disagree with a lot of the time. So we'll get into that. But what I think is interesting about our friendship, even though we have divergent views about things, you are a very dependable and reliable person. You are one of those friends who always want to cheer you up, prop you up. You push people. There's no iota of jealousy, in how you interact with your friends, and you are just very open and honest. And for me, that's usually the kind of energy that I'm drawn to, and I think that's why this friendship just works so beautifully, because you are a very, very great person. So I'm really thankful for you, and I'm really thankful for your own personal journey and growth. You've done a lot of phenomenal things from a career point of view, which we'll kind of go into. But yeah, you're doing amazingly well, and I'm super proud of you. So thank you so much for joining me. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. I crossed many oceans and seas to be here. You're my good friend.
Thanks for being here. Yeah. So can you kind of tell us who is Akitobi, and tell us something about yourself that a lot of people don't know?
Okay, so my name is Akitobi without the N. Akitobi.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people. Yeah, even the Akitobi doesn't have N.
Without the N.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's my grandfather's name. When I was born, they took me to him, and he was like, Omo Alile, I'll name him after me. And they were like, won't you be angry if we're calling him and he feels like he says no? This one looks like me.
Oh.
So all my cousins are jealous of me. Anyways, so my name is Akitobi. I don't think there is anything about myself that people don't know. Like, I consider myself an open book, right? I want to be consistent, right, in everything I do. So I don't want to be somewhere and someone says, if someone tells you I did something, you can say, actually, Akitobi did this. Or if someone tells you I didn't. So that's my character. So I don't think there's anything really about me that people don't know.
I can definitely attest to the consistency in your character across the board. So that's interesting. Anyway, so yes, speaking about you, Akitobi, as a person, everybody knows the bubbly, energetic, party, always outside, always up for the vibes, Akitobi. But I want to strip it back a bit, right? I want to kind of peel off the layers beyond that bubbly person that we all know. So tell me a little bit about growing up, your childhood. What are the memories that you have about that time?
Okay. So I tell people this and they don't believe. I was a very, very shy person growing up. Like, I didn't used to go for parties. Like, when you take me for all these small children parties, I think I grew up too fast, right, at some point in my life. So at first, like, the first few, I'm the only child of my mom, and things were going good and all of that. Then when I was 7, my mom passed, right, and my life changed entirely. Like, it just changed. So I moved to boarding school at 7 years old. I was going to boarding school. I was in the girls. But yeah, I moved to boarding school at 7, and um, that was when things started changing for me. I started seeing that I could. I started discovering myself more. Before then, before I was 7 years old, right, I had gone to 8 primary schools, and that
Wow.
was because every time when I come, if they shout at me in this school, I'm just gonna tell my mother I don't like this school. I can find one lie that they are praying one prayer in that school that I don't like, or that they make us recite. So like, I didn't start to write on time. I didn't start to write till I was primary one. I think primary one. That's what my handwriting is still bad. I didn't start to write on time. Um, I couldn't do many things on time. I was just very laid back and all of that. Like, so I remember one vivid thing I remember about when I was growing up. We used to live somewhere in Sole. And I know I had a lesson teacher. And every afternoon when I come back from school, I need to recite the house address. I need to recite the Nitel phone number. I think I can still remember that number now. I need to recite the Nitel phone number before I can eat, because I didn't know anything. Like, I was just very timid. I was like, when people come to visit us, I'll go and hide under the chair. Like, I didn't want to. So yeah, fast forward to when I moved to boarding school. Before then, my position is like 14, 15. When I moved to boarding school, I just saw that I can do this thing now. And what changed everything for me was they were trying to do primary 6 in our school. So there was no primary 6. And they needed to move some people from primary 3 to primary 5. So they said, the best 3, they'll move them from primary 3 to so mommy, I want to quickly go to secondary school. So I just read, and I took third, and I was like, wow,
Yeah,
I can do this. So since then, like, my life just changed. My life. Then secondary school, I went to a Christian secondary school. I went to Redeemers. In camp, we used to go to church a lot, like Holy Ghost nights, everything. We line up like soldier ants like this. But yeah, then I started becoming very, like, I started seeing value in myself, because like in my school, what used to happen then was from GS1, GS2, you already know who will be head boy. Like, and people, I was like a prospect, like I was like a proper, like, okay, so there's something about me that is.
Yeah.
So that whole phase changed
The course of your
the
life.
course of my life.
Yeah.
Then I used to like, then I became very social in GS3. I think my being social came with the blowing of Nigerian music in Nigeria, because then we used to have this thing that we used to buy. It's called Palito. We used to listen to it when I was in GS3, SS1. So I was the one that knew all the new Nigerian songs in my school. So people would come to me that I should sing it for them. When the band start plus, people will come to me that
You were working Shazam.
exactly that I should sing it for them and all of that. So I started becoming social. Then I had a group. We used to perform the Omo Hits songs on social nights and all of that. So yeah, I started becoming social, small. Then we did jam. Then I went to Ilag. That Ilag story, I suffered there. Yeah, then I went to Ilag, like
When you say you suffered in, like, what do you mean?
no, I suffered before I entered Ilag. So,
Okay, getting into the
yeah,
like,
yeah. My uncle used to work in the VC's office, and that time I didn't know. So my jam, I said I was going to write only one jam. I got two to something, and I was like, whatever this jam will carry me
Whichever
inside,
course.
I'm
That's
not
what you
doing.
do.
If I do another one, I'll fail. Like, so, when I was about to enter, and I filled computer science, and I would roll back to this computer science conversation, because again I believe in patterns, right,
Yeah.
in life. I filled computer science. By the time I got there, now they said I couldn't do computer science, blah blah blah. Then my uncle was like, you know what? For you to seek course, you'll be coming to my office every day. I didn't know there was cab inside that school or bus, so I would drop at gate
And you walk.
and I would trek to Senate building every day.
Wow. Wow.
I feel like plenty change of course form. When urban and regional planning guys now said, okay, I should come and do ERP. The day I went to register, after we had so far in auditorium lined up for like 3 hours, I got to the front. I remember one woman wearing glasses like this. I was like, you're not registrable. Go back home. I just started
Why?
crying. Like, I didn't have geography in my jam. So I just started crying. Long and short, I got into estate management and all of that. And then again, I started doing well again. Like, my first semester, I had 4 points. I was like,
Like, I'm a sharp boy. You.
that guy, like, and all of that. I didn't used to go to club in school till I got to like year 4. I was like a dead guy. Like when people are going to me, my own was just go. We'll go to barbecue nights, and I was really small. Like I was small
Yeah,
compared
still
to my.
small.
I'm still small, right? Compared to my like peers. I'm like,
Yeah.
So I didn't used to do all of that. It was when I entered Access Bank, I entered life.
That transition is something we need to talk about, because I want to understand how you went from
Being
being
shy.
shy and not outside to somebody. Akitobi, how many days in a week are you outside today?
It
By your estimate.
It depends.
Estimate on the average in a week
I've
that you're
changed now.
outside. Okay.
Now,
Akitobi,
now that I have
when you were outside,
a suitable
when you
a
were
suitable
outside,
accommodation.
before, because this whole accommodation has not passed 1 month. So before that suitable accommodation, how long are you
Okay, I
always
used to be
outside?
out like three times a week.
At the minimum.
No, that's tops. Like,
Okay.
I didn't. Yeah. Until W started doing Sunday night, I used to be out like Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
And Sunday.
and Sunday, and that's because
That's 4 days in a week.
I have 3 sets of friends.
Okay.
So I have my Thursday friends that do not go out on Fridays. Then I have my Friday friends. Then I have my Thursday and Friday friends that want to go out on Saturday.
So the ones that have gone out on Thursday but are not going
Go
out
out
on
for
Friday,
Friday.
but they'll go out on Saturday.
So you know when you do what
So
do they
you are
call that
rotating.
thing? That set in maths. That's 3 stuff. That 3 circles. It's yellow though. That 3 things they used to draw.
I
That
know
you
the
now
one
be
you're
at the
talking-
middle.
Yes,
So I'm
at the
one-
center.
Uh-huh.
So you have to juggle all the different.
So I'm the
different.
one at the center of my friends. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good place to be. But does it not exhaust you?
no, I enjoy it.
So
I
on the
tell-
average, when you're outside, you're out till what time? Let's
No,
give
so
the
I don't go. I
listeners
don't
an
go out.
idea.
I don't go out for more than 3 hours. You see me when I'm
Akitobi,
somewhere. I'm like we're out
Akitobi, you are
at
not answering the question. You're out to what time?
till
On the average, what time do you leave
2:30.
outside?
No, on Friday because Consequence starts playing at 2. So I'm out till 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
So that's at 3 a.m. on Thursday.
No,
That's
no,
3 a.m.
on
on Friday,
Fridays.
on Saturday, on Sunday, and
No, on Sunday like 2 a.m. On Saturday like 2 a.m. On Sunday like 1. Once they finish all that their performance, I'm out.
okay.
But I enjoy it, right? And I always tell people that my own retirement plan is a building, 3-story building, restaurant downstairs, club, rooms, and penthouse for me to just be enjoying myself. Like, I don't need so much money. I don't need just basic stuff. But that club, I must do this club business in this Nigeria. I like it.
Okay.
Like as I am, all these things I'm doing is apprenticeship. I'm just doing. I'm just.
You're
studying.
learning how. You're learning
I'm
the
just
ropes. You're learning the
looking,
life.
I'm looking around. I'm
learning
seeing
the
what's going on.
lifestyle.
I'm making friends with all the major DJs. All of them are my friends. Like
You're preparing yourself for that
Preparing
retirement
myself,
plan.
yes.
But I mean, I think it will be a good you.
no, I have
There's
crowds.
nowhere I want to enter in this Lagos now. I just need to pick my phone and call Akitobi. Akitobi, I want to go to.
You go
I
anywhere.
want to go to
Just
this
call
place
my
today.
name. Call my name.
And
They let
the
you-
doors
but
are
go-
open.
Go with your money, but call my name.
Of course, now the money is not. The money is never a problem. But I think it's amazing. And I think what like you're always you're always there and coming through for people in that way. But what I always find fascinating is that you also have a thriving career, right? And I want to talk a bit about that and understand how you balance this very, 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 very active social life that you have, with your career. Because for a lot of people, and I don't know that a lot of people can juggle being outside as much as you are, and still doing amazingly well in their careers. How do you manage it?
Okay, so one of the reasons why I am outside a lot is because I'm someone that thinks a lot, right? If I sit in my house alone, I'll get lost in thought. I'll start thinking about things I'm not. So I just want to be around people to forget that whole thing. And about juggling, it will work. So no matter what I do,
But do you think that thinking a lot is a bad thing? Because your boss will say sometimes, like
is for me it's not good. For me, it's not good because it's.
Do you think
puts
negative
me,
thoughts?
No, not negative thoughts. Like I just start thinking of many things. Like not necessarily negative thoughts, but I don't know how to explain it. But I just don't want to
be alone with your thoughts.
I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. So I'll
you rather be with people, talk to them about how you're
exactly,
feeling. And I think you do that a lot, right? Even when we are chilling together, You kind of put it
anything
out
that
there,
is doing
whatever
me, I'll
is
just
expressing.
tell. Because now you can't use anything that is doing me to laugh at me. If like,
Because you've
because
already
I've
said
told
it.
you already, like everything that is doing me, I'll tell you. So yeah, I no matter where I go, right, I know I have to be up in front of my laptop at 6, 7, right. In between all this, my house while I was doing an Harvard course, right, and I finished the day before yesterday. And I was like, no, I
Wow,
finished last week, and I was like,
that's
really, I
amazing.
did this,
And you are still
in the
always outside.
midst of all this. There are days that I will be coming back from Zoya at 2. I have a deadline by 7 in the morning. I'll still open my laptop even if I'm struggling out, because I know,
Literally.
like, this is how I look at it. This is what funds this lifestyle.
Yeah,
I need to sustain both,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm able to juggle stuff. Some days I get tired. I sleep a lot also, but people don't know, like,
I don't know.
and I take breaks. I take, so at work, that 1 hour break, may I sleep. Right, even right from when I was in Access Bank, like, I have one
Yeah.
corner I used to go and sleep. I must take that 1 hour sleep. So I rest, but it could be exhausting sometimes. But
It's
I
what it's
enjoy
what they
it.
call a power nap, and I think that always helps
That
a lot of
helps,
people when you
yeah.
just take 15, 20 minutes to catch yourself in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And just for the listeners, I mean, we talk about your thriving career, and I just wanted to put it out there as a very proud friend that I am. I mean, you're currently the chief product officer in Rome, Africa. Abby, Rome,
Yeah,
Africa.
yeah,
Did I
yeah,
get it
yeah,
correctly?
yeah. Rome
Which
Rome
is
Africa. Yeah.
which is amazing. And you transition from, of course, being in the bank. You know, you mentioned Access Bank a couple of times.
Yeah.
You transition from that to now working in the tech space from a product management point of view. What was that transition like for you?
So it wasn't a transfer, and I'll roll back to that computer science conversation I was talking about. So I wanted to study computer science. I went and I studied estate management, and before I got distracted in year 4.
What distracted
I'll
you?
have had first class. It's one girl like this, so I'll have had first class.
We'll go back to that distraction.
but-
Continue.
Yeah. So I wanted to do computer science. I got into estate management, but I was like, okay, you know what? This estate management, I'm going to do very well at it. And I'll say sometimes, I tell people sometimes that I was lucky in life, right? Or I am lucky in life, and favored, whatever other word you want to use. So when I was in my third year, I was 21 years old when I was in my third year. And there's this thing they used to do in Unilag then. I don't know if they still do it, where companies will come, you write tests and everything. And they used to give us, I know some companies came, they used to give us 5K, some food and all of that. So we would just used to go and write it at least, we'll see 5K, 12 body, or we eat lunch here. If you like, we fail. So I did the test. I did a couple of tests. Like I did some consulting firms. I did a lot. FMCGs. I did Access Bank also. And I didn't hear a word. So I thought that Access Bank day itself, it was, my friend was just like, let's just go. It's near our hostel. Let's just go and do it. And it was just 10 questions. Maths and English 5, I think. Yeah, about that. And we did the test. I didn't hear from them. So me, I just continued with my life now. And I finished, went to serve. I served in Akwa Ibom. It's a fantastic place to serve. I was actually posted to Lagos. I redeployed to Akwa Ibom.
do you want to delve into this decision? Okay.
No, I just wanted to be.
Let's
I
leave
feel
it at that.
Lagos coppers are suffering coppers. Why we want to serve in Lagos? It's suffered now. I went to Unilag already. So then a week to that time I still used to go to church. So like that time when it was like 6 months to the end of service, I was like, ah, God, well, where will I see work like this? After service, I must find work, or this my America. I used to have one American dream. Like I wanted to go to America by all means, right? My American dream was work. I must see job and all. So a week to the end of service, I came to Lagos. Then I was on my way back to Akwa Ibom, right? Then I got a call from the bank, and they were like, "Oh, do you remember one test you did 3 years ago?
Wow.
Right? You passed, and we need you to come for an interview. We've been following you and all of that." I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Let's see how it goes. So I go back to Lagos after passing out and all of that, and I had this one grey suit. That's so suffered. So I went for the interview. I met with everybody. We spoke. Blah, blah, blah. I went to training school casually. So there's a course in training school. It's called FlexCube. So it's like the computer course in training school. casually, like, because I like the guy that was teaching it and I understood it, right? And I had like 99 or something.
Oh.
So I was like the best in that. So after training school, on the ceremony thing they do, the ED for IT was there. And when they called me for the prize for the, I was like, this guy looks like a computer guy. Maybe he'll come to IT. So when they brought my letter, right, I got posted to digital banking. And I didn't, it was last year I sat down because so many things were not working in my life. So I had to start looking at patterns, right? It was last year I sat down and I was like, okay, let me look at some patterns in my life. And I was like, oh, I wanted to do computer science. I delved and God found a way and
brought you back to that path.
Into this computer path, right? So I started as a product manager in digital banking, which managed like certain digital products and all of that. They changed my team. They moved the good people to one team. They moved the rest of us. So
you stopped being the good people. How did you find yourself on the other side of the team?
I don't know. But you see,
outside, no,
it's not. At that time, I wasn't even going. No, not like I stopped being the good people. Don't mind me. But they just had to divide the team. Like one team had to go to the foundry, the other team had to stay in the bank. So I was part of people that stayed in the bank. And from there, like that, my American dream had been. I wanted to go to school. Also, my goal was work in Access Bank 2 years, go for masters. So this America now, they gave me visa. I went to the school I wanted to go to. I got left. I got everything. Came back. Oh yeah, now give me student visa. They didn't give me. I went back to the school again, the second time.
So you had a visiting visa?
I had now. I came back. They didn't give me. So I said, okay, maybe America is not in my destiny now. So I started looking for work. So I moved from, I did about 5 years in Access. 5 years in Access Bank. Then I moved to, because I just wanted to see progress in my life, right?
Yeah.
I got promoted was Access Bank. Then I moved to a lending company somewhere around there. Right. Let me just say it how it is. I moved to a microfinance bank, right? But it was like an international MFB, right? And I was head of digital strategy there. And I was like, okay,
at least you can see the trajectory.
Let me be head when I'm head. Then I moved. Then the first month when I was there, I got interview. I started getting hits on my LinkedIn, and I got interviewed by another company. Then I started like after 8 months in that other company. Then before I came to where I am now, like God has been so good and kind to me. Like I've done a proper 25-year career in like 7 years. 7 years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think I'm just touching on what you said about patterns. I also believe in patterns. I believe that, I mean, they say how you cannot connect life looking forward. You can only connect it looking backwards, right? And I've also come to a place where I understand that everything lines up for a reason. And just to also touch on the point you made about going to do the test at that time, I'm also a very big believer on embracing different opportunities. I remember how my own career started, and it was also an internship, right? It was me just exploring something and it turning out to be one of the biggest decisions that has forced or pushed my career in the way it has gone. So
and I think for me again, maybe because even amongst my peers, like I always see myself as a leader, right? From, I think that whole thing started from my NYC. My NYC, I was president of my CDS, so I had to like coordinate stuff. Even when I joined the bank as an ET, amongst my guys, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Like, I always want to be in the front. I mean, I always like mingling with people that are, or guys like that are ahead of me, so I can have that. So it made it easy for me to flow into that.
That space.
The space,
So you always seem to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people, you always seem like you don't have any fears. Like you're a very fearless person. Do you think you have fears?
I don't have fears. I have problems. I have worries. But I do have fears, right? Because we're not getting out alive, right? And I can only try make mistakes. Like there's no award at the end.
Yeah.
So
So
I just live on
you just take it one day at a time. I think that's what you do well.
one day at a time. Yeah.
So now I want to go into that argument that we are always having, which is the one that you said triggered our friendship, because we are always having back and forth on your position about this,
You
right?
know, I always ask you something first before we argue, before we have any deliberation, not argument.
Yeah.
Do you believe? So
I've not even said the topic. I've not even said the subject. You're already preempting.
Because I know what you want to say.
You're already preempting, right?
Say the subject.
So you have a very strong opinion, I would say, or I don't know if strong is the right word, but you have an opinion about gender roles and equality and inequality. And I remember there was one statement that you made where you said you believe in equal opportunities, but you don't believe in equality.
No.
Which I didn't quite understand. So can you explain what you mean by that statement?
So in the workplace, in society, I feel women should be allowed to do what men do also.
When you use the word allow, what you're saying the word allow.
Okay, like, I feel women, don't use my English. My English is not sound. Don't use my English. So I feel men and women, right, should be given equal opportunities. However, we need to understand that we are not equal. Even amongst men, we are not equal. It's just
let me tell you clear. There is a difference between we are different versus we are not equal.
We are not equal.
So we are different people in the sense that even like as women or as a man, we are different. But when you say we are not equal, it means that you are saying that there is a gender that is superior to another.
Even forget gender.
Or you're saying there's a superiority.
We didn't want gender. You know who pass you and who you pass. We are not equal.
No, but that's you're talking about within from a status point of view. We're talking about just as I exist as a human being. So you have a boy child and you have a girl child. What is informing the conclusion that they are not equal, just as human beings? Let's forget status. Let's forget all of those other things.
So if you go religious, right? How you go biblical, like men were taken out of men, right? How is something that is a subset of something?
You are bringing Venn diagram now. No, so when the way I see it, and we can, like, when I look at it biblically, right, is the Bible speaks of it from a home point of view. So in your family, right, for ease of, I don't know how I'll put it, maybe I don't know.
It has to be hierarchy now. It's not for ease.
For whatever
it is.
For whatever it is. And we are speaking biblically now. We're not talking about morally or anything. Biblically, the Bible says, so it's like your husband and the wife, right? So that conversation is in the space of two individuals. So if I want to look at it biblically, which you have gone to, we are saying my husband, right? The person that I'm married to. The person you are married to. Hold on now. The person you are married to is superior or is the head.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yes.
That's how the Bible says it. The man is the head of the woman. That is different from every man being the head of a woman. So if I use myself as an example, in my home, this man that I'm married to is the head. How does that translate to my interaction with everybody else in the society? How does that translate to every other? Does that then mean that every other man is my head? Of course not.
So for the
so that's how I interpret the Bible part.
For the sake of this conversation, right?
Yes.
Let's focus on the home. Right, in society, like I said, in society, if you and a man are working in the same company, right, and are doing the same job, equal opportunities. That's what I mean by. So, as a gender, right, from a gender perspective, equal opportunities, but from a home perspective, right?
Yeah. No, the home one, I can understand that.
We're looking at it from a Bible. Small. We are getting to the same page.
Actually, this is the first time that we are even seeing eye to eye on this subject, because
no. So maybe we didn't understand the context before.
I'm just saying that every other man every other man out there.
No, you're equal to every other man.
Do you understand? Yeah. And even my husband, I'm equal to him.
Okay.
right? However,
Me, I'm not equal to the person I'll marry. So be here now. We're not equal.
we are equal in terms of
you will wash
as
plates and one
humans.
generator. We are not equal. So
What do you mean? Can a woman not on generator?
If you can only, that's your problem. Me, I'm not.
And how many, like, are you even using generator today? Are you on generator today?
No, so I believe in gender roles. That's just
Yes.
what I mean.
When you say gender, so you're saying that there are some roles that only men can do. There are some roles that only women can do.
Not the fact that only it just comes naturally, right? That a man should do a certain.
It comes naturally because that's what society preaches.
No.
It comes naturally because the moment you are born, the family unit already ascribes particular roles to men and ascribes particular roles to women.
Let's even say that's what society says. Can you take yourself out of society? Is society not an integral part of your life?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But who defines whether it's right or wrong?
Society is the reason why we're having this conversation today.
But are you saying that we should not evolve as a society? We should be stuck in the dark ages because that's how.
Who says what is dark age and what is light age?
And who says what is right and what is wrong? Who says that the gender roles that have been assigned?
God has put something in your mind.
There's nowhere in the Bible
God
that
has
says
put
that.
something in your mind to let you know that something is right and something is wrong. And you know that this argument you have with me.
No.
But
So if you have two kids today, right? You have a boy and you have a girl. Would you say, "Oh, my boy does not need to be in the kitchen"?
No, so it's a survival skill. Being in the kitchen is a survival
Thank God
skill.
we agree on that.
Right? Is a survival
Thank God
skill.
we agree on that.
However, like me now, I know how to cook. Right? I know how to. But once babies are around, I become useless. I just and if you ask anybody, like I can send people message for, please don't bring me remote. Please don't bring me water.
So the babe is the one that has come to what? To save you from hunger.
No, that's the way I feel cared for. You can't be coming to my house every day and be buying food. Like I won't feel cared for. But when you come and you invest time,
You can invest time in buying the food.
No, invest time in making me I don't need your money. I don't need sex is not all that. Like just show me some care. Right? Invest time.
And food is the only way to show you care.
Not just food. Like let me feel the fact that you're in my house. Right? Even if I used to lay my bed, have your own style of laying it. That I know you're around.
Even if this your gender now for flex, so no, I don't understand. I hear what you're saying now. I'm just saying that I understand the place of supporting, exactly. But I struggle with when it's ascribed as a role or a duty.
So it's a role, but anybody can support. So it's not like if my wife is cooking now, I can be washing plates. But in your mind, do not make that washing of plates my
plates
duty.
That you used to eat.
No.
So is it our own duty?
I don't know what you want to call it, but we know who will wash. We know who will wash plates. We know who will go and like me now. If there are 2 cars in the house, I know that Saturday morning I'll drive the 2 cars, go and wash. I'll go and buy fuel inside. I'll take it to mechanic. My wife cannot be sitting at a mechanic workshop. Never. You shouldn't even know one. Okay. Right? Just like I don't know the road to market. Honestly. But yeah, like in this age and time, I think things are much more easier now, right? So if I want to buy food stuff, I don't have to go to the market. I can go into a mall and buy stuff, and so. But again, it's not my. Everybody knows their job in the house. Like people can support each other, but see, well, I don't know, but that's not me. I want to run my own house. Everybody knows their job. Like it can't be school fees time now, and you will be racking your brain on how to pay school fees. It doesn't make any sense. But it can't
your responsibility as a man.
It can't be
That's
time,
what you are saying.
Yes, it can't be time to buy clothes. You know, I want to buy clothes for. Go and buy clothes now. Like, let's divide this thing. And that's the only way. See, imagine in your office, right? Everybody's doing everybody's job. How will you have to
that's the thing, like that's what I'm saying, like in every home, in every relationship or whatever it is, people have to define what works for them in that home. And in a home, in one home,
this is Ipolo words I'm doing. I'm defining my role.
In one home, it could be that it's the man who cooks,
Which is
and
fine.
that's okay.
I was my.
So
I really don't need to know who cooks in your home.
Exactly. So the issue that I have is that your initial submission was from a gender point of view. It was not like, oh, in my home, I want it to be my wife that does this. Okay. I mean, if that's what both of you, if that's what both of you agree to, of course, why not, right? But then I think that a lot of times it already assigned that, oh, this is what a woman is supposed to do. You hear stories of people even in the workspace, and they're at a work gathering, and by default they expect that it's the woman who is supposed to do
like logistics,
like move things around and all of that.
Come to you. So I think we are just trying to complicate our lives as humans. There are things that come to you naturally. So let me paint a case in point for you. Now we are here, right? As much as maybe the lady will know how to set up mic or set up camera, right? It's just like in church, right? You know, it's the guys that are doing technical. Even if a lady knows how to do it, there are women there. But you just know that if they say, okay, if they
there are more male chefs than female chefs.
If they, that's for as a job. If they pack, like if they put 5 guys and 5 ladies somewhere, right? They put electrical equipment, they put food stuff, and they don't say anything. Everybody will just go to what comes to them naturally. Do that experiment, like, because there are things that come to us naturally.
Because of societal constructs. Okay.
No, because there are things that your body imagine a man and woman at the. I think this thing would have been settled. Let's say a man and woman had capacity to give birth.
Which is unfair. You know, life is unfair. We women are the ones who go through.
Drag that one with God.
The menstrual cycle. You're the one who goes through menopause. You're the one who
inside me since 13 years old.
Which
I've been carrying my children.
Akitobi, and you are the ones who get pregnant. You're the ones who give birth, and then you guys say you are the ones who has to do all the house chores.
That's what comes to you naturally.
It comes to us, and we can agree that it only comes to us naturally, or it only comes to women naturally, because that's how society has made it.
Is this society that created you?
When I was born, how was it in me naturally that I need to do chores? It's because that's how I was trained. That's how I was brought up, and then.
Even if they didn't train you like that, you will still find yourself doing, because it comes to women are to nurture. Nurture.
No, I agree. I agree that women are naturally nurturing.
Till the ground. I've already called that male, not till
I agree that women can be naturally nurturing. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, to just wrap up our discussion on this, we are not entirely aligned, but I think that how I see it is, at the end of the day, every individual figures out what works best for them. Every home figures out what works best for them. I think for me, it's just important from an opportunity point of view, which we are aligned on, that women are not at a disadvantage.
No, women should not be at a disadvantage.
Just by virtue of their gender.
However, what do you think about a full year, right? And a woman is, okay, so 3 years consecutively, a woman is pregnant. Right, 3 years consecutively, and she takes 6 months maternity leave in those 3 years. When it's time for promotion, if they are promoting the man, should they promote the woman too?
Did she deliver on what is expected of her? Did she deliver on what is expected?
Your organization didn't know what was expected of you for the whole year.
You at the start of the year, you set
quarter by quarter.
You set KPIs, and then it's reviewed, right?
She delivered for the quarters when she was around. When she was not around, the other person did that job. Should they promote her or not?
Yes, they should.
You are being unfair. You see,
I'll throw this question back to the listeners, and I'm interested to hear what people will say back.
You are being unfair.
On whether or not she should be promoted or not.
Life choices.
I'm being unfair, and I agree. I'm biased. I agree.
You are.
Anyway. That's it.
Because it was a life choice. You can say it's her husband, but it was a life choice for her to be pregnant at that time. So
pregnancy is not a disability.
It's not.
She would have worked for the period where she can work.
So the time that she can't
don't you go on leave when you're working? Do they not pay you when you're on leave? Don't you have leave?
I have leave.
And you have different types of leave. Annual leave, sick leave, blah, blah, blah. Don't you take it?
Are you not at a stretch? Not for 6 months.
Maternity leave by law in Nigeria is 3 months.
It's 3 months. Okay.
Yes.
Whatever it is. Well, I don't think they should promote you.
And even if it's 6 months that she goes for.
I don't think so. Even if she go for 1 year.
I leave this to I welcome opinions, but I think it's a very interesting question and something that it provokes some thought. So that's it basically
I
for
had
me.
so much fun doing this.
I had so much fun too.
So much
Do you have anything that you want to talk about that I didn't ask you about before I go to like my last segment?
No, nothing.
Are you sure? Covered everything with it. Okay, so I have a couple of questions for you.
Hey.
I call my signature questions. What's one thing you wish you knew earlier in life? If you could go back and tell yourself, your 18-year-old, if you could go back and tell 18-year-old Akitobi something, what would you say?
I really don't. I've not thought that deep. You say I avoid thinking too much.
But what's one thing you wish you knew earlier? Nothing. You think that?
I think you see there's no perfect way to live this life, right? And another thing for me is because I do not compare myself to other people and I don't judge my life by other people's lives. So I think it's when you start judging your life by other people's lives, then you start thinking, there's something I should have done when
differently.
I was 18. The way Yoruba people will say, there are some people that will have money in the morning of their life. Some people have in the afternoon. Some people will have in the evening. Some people will have all through. So you really cannot know.
And we are all on different journeys.
Exactly.
We're all on different journeys, and we learn as we go. So
exactly.
Yeah.
What's
the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I do still listen to advice. Never me even ask me this question. I'll have prepared the bands I'll drop.
Tell me. I wanted this to come to you naturally.
Piece of advice. I should just So I think my former boss, right? My boss when I was in Access Bank. Every time I get a new job, I used to go and meet him like how far, and he always like advises me like I should go with it. Like when I got this new job, now I was like, you know what? See, I know in your mind you are still that small Akitobi, but you are not again. You are a C-suite person now. Even if it means you need to go and buy a jeep or buy to feel like that, you need to push yourself.
Yeah.
And I think at first when I resumed, I was like, random, let's do the work on it. But I think always remembering that constantly has helped me in my job. That
you're capable, you're able to do it, you deserve
exactly
where you are.
So
you're deserving of that position.
Because he was like, I know you think you're using juju for all these people, but you really deserve it. Like you put in the work.
So. Because sometimes it's easy to feel like, why was I the one who got it? What exactly did I do to get here? I used to feel like that
because on my interview I used to suffer. Last year, when I was looking for a job, between August and October, November, I applied for over 1,000 jobs.
Wow.
I did over 60 interviews.
Wow.
Right, so where people are like, they just like
it doesn't just come like that.
Come out your eyes for Sojaman salary. You don't know the war.
Yeah. So I feel you. I mean, people always see the end results. They don't see the process. So I agree with you. If you could create one rule that everyone would follow, what would it be? I think I know what your rule would be. Sure. Tell me.
Just enjoy.
Have fun.
Enjoy. It's just like Nigeria. People that are keeping their money in bank.
They should spend
their money has stocks. Enjoy. If you use your money to eat or drink, that you know that this is what I use my money for.
After you finish eating, you go to the toilet now.
Yeah, but you know what you use your money for. But yeah, just like enjoy, like live, because really we don't know when everything will end. And where, like me, I tell people I don't believe in the world coming to an end. I believe that is when you go, your own world has ended. So
I feel you.
So yeah,
I feel you.
Just have a good life.
That's amazing. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for sitting down and joining me.
Like this, so.
Yeah,
and I did do.
I'm harnessing that potential. So
I'll start my own podcast.
Thank you for sitting in with me. I end each podcast with a quote, and I think it really aligns with what you said. And the quote that I wanted to end this with is this quote that I really, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was something that says that the bad news is that nothing is permanent, and the good news is that nothing is permanent, right? So whether it's something positive that is happening, it has an end. And whether it's something negative that is happening, it has an end. And I've learned to always just look at things from that perspective where I enjoy the moment because that's all you can enjoy, right? And you don't know what the outcome is. So
Exactly.
this has been so much fun. Thank you so much, Akitobi, for sitting with me.
I enjoyed myself too. I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
for having me. My best friend, female. And she didn't want to tell people that part. She's my
No,
best
Akitobi is my friend, my best friend, my very, very, very
I'm not
good.
your best
I don't know,
friend,
you're not my
like,
best friend. Let me
yes,
not
but
lie.
you're my
But you're
best
my
friend.
very,
female.
very good friend. You're my very, very good friend, and I appreciate
And my
having you in
friend's
my
wife.
life. Oh, thank you.
All
Thanks,
right.
darling. And that's it on today's episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and a big thank you to my guests for joining me and sharing their story. Join me again next time for another amazing episode. Until then, keep living your best life.